Hello everybody, welcome back to Hermitcraft. This is Tango, finally back to feed the addiction called Minecraft. Whoo, I can hear it already, guys. I can hear it. I can feel the heat on my neck. I can hear you guys. You're all saying it, and you have a right to. You're all saying, Tango, what the heck, man? Where'd you go? You disappeared on us for like a week and a half. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing. And you know what? You're right. You are right. I have my excuses. Maybe I'll go into them. I don't know, but some of them are good. Some of them are not so good. But basically, what happened is life happened. YouTube craziness happened. Well, I'll tell you. I don't mind. I'll tell you. I worked on 2 different Breaking Bytes ideas. One I determined wasn't going to be fun. Another one I determined was going to take way too long to do. That wasted 2 nights. Then I worked on what we're going to be building today for like 2 nights. And then Agario happened. That crazy life-sucking game that Azuma introduced us all to with his video there. The game with the circles, I don't know if you guys saw. I'll put a link in the description if I remember, because, you know, it is a fun game, but that stole 2.5 nights maybe from me, and I feel horribly guilty about it, but man, I had fun playing that. So I do apologize, but we are back, and I want to move on. And with that said, all right, today it's gonna be one of those episodes that those of you guys that are subscribed to me, this is one of those videos why you're subscribed to me. Okay, we're gonna be pulling out something today that's just gonna be awesome. I'm super excited about it. Like I said, it's taken me about 2 nights at least to design this thing. The redstone on this it's probably up there in the top 3 insanity redstone builds I've ever done, okay? Easily one of the top 3. Probably, maybe even top 2. I don't know, okay? And it's going to be a game. We're going to be putting a game here in Hermit Thrills, and it's going to go right here. In case you didn't guess yet, I've been digging a hole here, bigger than the one that was here. It's going to fit here perfectly, okay? It's going to snug up right to this wall right here, come right on down over here to this block here, and go all the way to the back. And it's going to go back quite a bit, like at least back to like there, maybe even a little bit more. That wall's going to have to probably come down, but that's okay, because we're going to have a building here that's going to block it all. I'm going to be careful not to go up too high, because I don't want to block the Hermit Thrills sign, so I kind of spegged out. Spegged? I have no idea what a speg is, but it's not a word. And it's probably going to come to like down there or something. I'm actually going to lower it a little bit. So yeah, without further ado here, let's see. I don't even know if I can describe what this is. This is literally a game I have just designed from scratch, okay? It has no bearance on anything you've probably ever seen. This may be a colossal failure. I'll tell you that right now. I'm rolling the dice here. I'm hoping this is going to turn out to be fun, okay? It's either going to be a blast or just too hard or something, but it's going to be a game that involves bluffing and a lot of like poker elements, if you know what I'm talking about, okay? The players of this game are going to have to very much pay attention to what's happening. They're going to have to observe, and they're going to have a chance to kind of bluff out their opponent. It's going to be like a 1 versus 1 game, okay? You're going to have a chance to like bluff out your opponent, and they're going to have a chance to call you on that bluff, and there will be consequences whether or not the call has been met to reveal the truth or to reveal a lie. And it should be interesting. I can't really explain too much more though without just doing something here, because I have to describe what's going to be happening. So what I'm going to do is, fair warning, by the way, those of you that don't like redstone videos, you better just get out now, because this video is going to be redstone coming out the ears. All right, the amount of redstone in here is going to be crazy. I know some of you guys kind of just gloss over when I start doing it, and I understand, but fair warning, there's going to be a crazy game with a lot of redstone. Probably going to take 2 episodes. I don't know how far we'll get done today. Probably most of it, I hope. But let me get something done here so I can explain how the game is going to be played. Okay, here we go, here we go. Let me see if I can describe how this game is going to be played now, because it's going to seem a little confusing at first, all right? But I think once you understand it, it's pretty straightforward, and like I said, I'm hoping it's a lot of fun. So there's going to be an entrance right here. Again, these are all just temporary blocks just to get the form and make sure I'm aligning where I want everything to align. Go down a little ladder here, and you're in kind of like a little ante-room here where player 1 will go left and player 2 will go right, or however you want to do it. And then you come around the corner here, and then you're in the playing area here, okay? So my whole gameplay takes place with me sliding back and forth. Everything is mirrored, so the other side is exactly the same over here, okay? So the whole gameplay takes place sliding back and forth on this row right here, okay? There's going to be pressure plates right here on each of the lights, so your opponent will easily be able to see which one, if any, of the pressure plates you are standing on, okay? Now, what's happening, bear with me now, hang in there. What's happening now this whole time is items are going to be randomly falling from the sky, not from the sky, from up in the ceiling. It'll be hidden, there'll be just like a little hole in the ceiling where items are falling down in one of 4 columns here, okay? Well, I should say 8 columns. They're going to be falling down either right there, there, or there. Okay, so the items are going to come down and hit these weighted pressure plates. These are light weighted pressure plates right here. Okay, so every item on there registers 1 more increased redstone signal. And same thing over here, there, and there. Okay. So the goal now is, like I said, there's going to be items falling down. There's going to be 4 different colors, red, blue, green, yellow, or something. I don't know. I may use iron just because there's more of it. But 4 very distinct colors are going to be falling down randomly on all 4 of these pads. So you may have like 2 blocks there, 1 block there, 4 blocks there. Obviously, if you get the same color more than once, they stack up. So it still counts as 1 item on the pad, which is kind of nice. Now, the goal of what you're trying to do here, okay, you have to watch the items that are falling down. Specifically, you have to watch what's falling down on the opponent's side, okay? Because these are your 4 over here, if you're this player. You have to really pay attention to the 4 that are falling over there, okay? So that you can try and kind of keep a memory of what is on each of those 4 pressure plates, which you obviously can't see from over here, okay? So you have to like, okay, a red fell over there, then a blue, then a yellow, then a green. Okay, so there's 2 on that pressure plate. That kind of deal, right? You have to keep a mental imagery of what's going on each side, okay? Now, periodically, okay, I'm going to align the items on these pressure plates with cakes and stuff up above, which I'll get into in a little bit later, so that the item is half on the pressure plate and half off, okay? And what that's going to allow us to do is when these pistons extend, they're actually going to push the item off the pressure plate and into the hopper, and essentially clear out the pressure plates here, the weighted pressure plates, okay? So that's going to be happening at a random interval as well. Pretty seldom, but it'll happen. Every once in a while, like that light will light up, and this piston will extend and go and clear off that pressure plate. Now, when it does, it's going to happen on both sides. So when this light turns on, this pressure plate will clear this one, and this piston will extend and clear this one, okay? So whenever you see a light pop on one of the 4 lights, you know that obviously your pressure plate on your side as well as the opponent's has been cleared. Now, the game, okay, is this column of lights here is going to start at the bottom and go up, okay? Now, what you have to do is continuously make a bet, okay? You're making a wager, or rather we can just call it, how fast do you want your lights to go up, okay? Right here is a bet of 1, we'll say. This is a bet of 2, this is a bet of 3, and this is a bet of 4. So depending on the number you're standing on is how fast those lights will light up. Obviously, if you're on 4, they're going to go up at the fastest possible rate, and if they're on 1, they're going to go up very slowly, okay? And it's not even 1 per tick, it's like there'll be counting system and stuff behind the scenes. So I'm hoping the game will take like 2 to 4 minutes or so. I'll play with the rates and all that stuff. The idea, though, is what you're betting here is the number of, well, so say you have like 2 there and 1 there and 3 there. You can safely bet 3, okay? Your bet is basically saying, this is the maximum number of items I have on any single one of my pressure plates, my gold pressure plates, okay? Again, so if it's like 4, 1, 2, 2, I can safely make a 4 bet, right? Because I got 4 down there, and that means I'm making a safe bet. Now, obviously, you can lie, okay? You can bluff, all right? you can stand on this plaid when you only have maybe 2 there or 3 there and say, oh, yeah, I totally got 4. Because the other guy can't see. He has to try and keep a mental imagery of what you have there, okay? So the better you are at keeping a mental track of what's going on the other side, the better you are to call the guy's bluff, all right? And that is going to be done through a series of buttons. I'm not sure where they're going to be. They'll probably be like something like that, okay? Actually, better yet, let me put them up on top here, because we're going to have signs down below here. Does an axe even break a button faster? No, it doesn't. One of those items that they never really fixed. All right, so let me put some labels here, all right? Like, we have 1, 2, and 3, and you guessed it, 4, okay? This is basically just so you don't have to constantly keep looking down. You can kind of just keep your eyes up here and still see, like, okay, I'm on the 3, I'm on the 2, I'm on the 1, all right? That's going to be your bet. Now, if the other guy's standing on 4, for instance, right, and he's all taunting, there's going to be a lot of smack talk in this game. He's standing on 4 saying, I got 4 on one of my pressure plates. You don't remember, right? And you're pretty sure that he doesn't. You think he may have 2 at most. You can press any one of these buttons. They're all going to be there. It's just a convenience. In case you're down here, you can press this one. If you're down here, you can press this one. They're all just there for convenience, but that's basically your call button. And for those of you who aren't familiar with poker and stuff, what that basically means is, you're bluffing, buddy. I don't think so, okay? Now, here's where it gets interesting. You hit that call button, or the other guy hits his call button, someone is going in the pit, okay? Behind us, this right here, this whole row is going to have stickies behind it, and they can extend, and same for the other guy, the whole row, okay? So if he's sitting on 4, all right, and you're pretty sure he's only got 2 on any of them, you're like, no way, call. And if you're right, and he does not have 4 on any one of the pressure plates, and he's bluffing, boom, he's going in the pit, okay? His blocks are going to extend and push him in the pit. If, however, you call him, and he does, maybe he's got like 4 here, and you miscounted, or you missed them drop or something, and you're like, you're lying, buddy, bam, and you hit the button, and you're wrong, you're going in the pit. Boo! All right? There's going to be a significant penalty, a time penalty to getting in the pit. I think you're going to have to, like, come around and climb up a little ladder, something maybe like something like right here, to get back into play, okay? So you're going to be out of commission for somewhere in the 5 to 10 second range. Now, that's obviously really bad because, A, you're not standing on any pressure plate, so you're not ranking your score up at all. But more importantly, when you're down, the other guy is going, bing, right to 4. He's like, sucker, because you can't call his bluff. So he's going to be sitting on 4 the whole time until you come up, and then he may back off or so. But you're giving him a lot of free time. So you better be sure when you hit that call button that you know what you're doing, right? But again, if you're pretty sure and you call it and you're right, boom, he's going in the pit, right? So the winner is definitely going to have to be bluffing quite a bit. I know this may sound complicated, but as we go, you'll see how it's going to work out, I think. I hope I'm doing a good job explaining this. So yeah, you're going to have to pay attention and try to keep track. But to win, you're also almost definitely, if you play it safe and are only betting the bare minimum, you're probably not going to win. You're probably not going to win. You're going to have to bluff, all right, and try to catch the other guy off guard. And obviously there's going to be a lot of reverse and double, triple reverse psychology going on. You're going to be smack talking. I'm hoping it's going to be fun. And then when someone goes in the pit, it's going to be inevitable. That should be the hilarious moment, all right? So that's the gameplay, all right? I'm going to go ahead and put the stuff. Oh, there, I forgot to mention there's going to be like a switch here. This will be this will be what you switch to say you're ready. The other guy will have his, and when they're both on, that's when the game will turn on. So let's see, we'll do a I'll go up here. Pull to start, something like that. All right, and I'll do the same on the other side. So that's the gameplay now, right? And again, as you're doing this and as you're making your bets, there's clocks continuously going. So if you stand here, you're continuously betting 2, and your light right here will go up at a rate of 2. Again, it's not going to be 2 every tick. It's going to be the slow kind of counter in the background, but it will directly affect the rate at which it goes. Now, the first one to the top wins, all right? As soon as you move off one of these and none of the lights are on, you're not making any bet, okay? So you pretty much always want to be standing on at least one because it's going to be pretty much impossible for those to all be empty. I mean, unless all of them reset at the same time, which I really don't think is going to happen because the resets are going to be kind of seldom. I don't want it to happen that much. Obviously, now getting the timing of the items falling, the timing of the resets, the timing of the clock, which does this, which raises, all that is going to significantly impact how the game is played, how hard it is. there may be difficulty modes, right? If you want to play crazy difficulty mode, the items might start raining down like boom, 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 boom. You know, more than any human could possibly keep track of, unless you're kind of some kind of cyborg machine person with photographic memory. And then obviously if they drop really slow and the resets are really rare, it should be a little bit easier to keep track. So yeah, I think now it's time to start some of the redstone. I'm going to try and do this piece by piece. I'm going to try and do some of the bottom first. There's all kinds of randomizers that need to go back in here and counting systems that need to go in the back here. So let me think where the next best place is to get started. Okay, we are back, and I did the first little bit of redstone down below, which I'll show you in a second, but first I want to mention that I raised that platform and that platform, the one you're going to be standing on. The reason for that is my goal was I wanted to be able to see the other guy's lights light up, and where you were a bit too low. You couldn't actually see that, so that was my bad. You know, because if you're like standing like right there, the other guy's not going to be able to know whether you're on the pressure plate or not, you know, so now he just needs to look for the light, which is good. And honestly, like up here, you get a little bit better perspective, like looking straight ahead, you see more of the items falling. It is a little bit harder to press the call button. You got to go down like a little bit more, but they're still pretty much always in range. So I think overall this is an improvement. All right, down here, I'm going to do most of the redstone from like the bottom up in phases so that I can explain it as we go. All this right here is randomizers for the pistons here, for these guys, to extend these guys randomly to clear off the golden pressure plates there, the golden weighted pressure plates. So yeah, pretty much what we got is a standard randomizer on each one. All these 4 torches are kind of torch pillared up to in between. Again, when one goes on, both sides go on. So when this torch goes off, that one will go off, and it'll flick the 2 in the middle there. And we just have standard randomizers here. I've shown these many times in the past. You put a bunch of items that stack to 64 and one shovel or item that doesn't stack. And every time this ticks, it pushes an item up into the hopper here, and the hopper immediately pushes it down. But while it's up there, the comparator reads it, and if you get the shovel, you'll get a signal length of 3, which will do the whole torch pillar and extend the piston. So the more non-shovel items you put in here, the less chance that you'll actually reset. And so I got the 2 on the wings there, and then I got the 2 in the middle here. This one now is a little bit trickier because they're right next to each other. But again, they can only go 3 maximum, so if this one goes 3, it'll just hit that repeater and it won't hit that one. So that's why we got the repeaters there, so that they push this into those blocks. Yeah, I got a little clock here. I got the clock on super slow or super fast right now. I just want to see if it's going to work here. I think we should be fine here. Let me hop up here. Oh, fall down. Just try that again. I think we should be good. All right, I hear pistons going. All right, that one. Let's see what else. That one again. That one. That one. Again, this is way too fast. I'm going to slow it down. Sometimes you get 2 at the same time. There you go. That one. Okay, so it's working. And I'm just going to go ahead and kind of, extend these here to get a much longer signal like so. And that's it. That's going to do it for the randomizing the pressure plate clearing system. Okay, moving on. Another little update here. And I got all the hopper returns working together and bringing the items back out. So basically I have this hopper and this hopper. All of these are pointing into this hopper here. And all of these hoppers underneath are flowing into that hopper there. And then down here, they come down, and they come over. I don't know what I'm going to do over here. I'll probably dump them into one of those glass elevators, because the items basically need to get back up to the top so that we can recycle the items to drop them again in future games. So I don't have to manually keep doing that, but this is something I'm honestly just being lazy about. I'll do that later. I had to bring this down and over instead of bringing it straight across, because those blocks and torches are all powered, and that would have jammed the items up in there. So that's the item return system. They'll go up like that. We're back, and I gotta say this is going pretty smooth so far. I'm real pleased how easily so far things are going together. I now have put in the redstone to detect the number of items on the pressure plates, both this side and this side here. So I want to go ahead and test it here. I'm going to throw let's see, I'll just put 1 of each of these there, and then we'll go 2 items there, 2 items there, and then let's see, we'll actually go 3 items there. So we got 3, 1, 2, 1. Again, we're not going to use these items, but this is just a test. So what we should have is a signal length 3, because again, according to the gameplay, you want to know the pressure plate that has the most items is the bet you are capable of safely making. So right now we can safely make a bet of 3. So down below here, use it. Pretty simple stuff. I mean, pretty much anywhere you see dust here, there, and right there, there's the pressure plate above it. And comparators are good here because they output the signal that is input in the back of them. So this is a great way of keeping that redstone power all the way down the line here. So when the signal length of, 3 I had up there, goes in there, it's going to put a 3 out here, then this guy's going to go 3 out, and it's going to go there, this guy's going to get 3 in, 3 out. So you get the idea. It goes all the way down. So what I got here is I dropped down a little bit just because of the way the redstone's going to have to work in a little bit. And I have these 4 lines right here, which are showing basically the maximum bet that you can make. And you'll see the redstone signal is 1, 2, 3, and this one's off, so it is working correctly. I got the same thing done on this side over here. And I'm going to use these to build a little like ORing and ANDing magic system to know when the bets are made that are legit, when a call happens and stuff. So this is all the craziness that's going to happen out here. So we're good with the item detection stuff. You know, I always kind of debate with these episodes, like the ones that are really redstone heavy. Should I show the redstone? I know a lot of you guys really like to see this stuff. I know a lot of you guys really hate to see this stuff. It's really hard to decide. So leave a comment. Let me know. Start a little discussion whether you like to see really detailed redstone like this. If you want to see a little bit more glance over. You know, obviously, if you hate this kind of thing, you've probably already fast forwarded, so it's gonna be a little bit biased. But I'd like to hear a discussion and you know, just find out what you guys think about this sort of stuff. But for this episode and probably next episode, because we're not gonna finish this episode, I'll probably keep going with this and showing high detail. But for the future, it helps me. It helps me know how much of this I should show. Probably not as much as I'm showing. This is starting to feel a little tutorial-y, but whatever. It is what it is. All right, back here, you remember the 4 redstone lamps. This is where the player stands on to do their which wager or which bet they're currently making. And I had to do a little bit of loop-de-loop magic here and stuff so that the signal strength, easy for me to say, signal strength of the redstone only drops by 1 for each time it gets closer to this comparator here. So by the time the signal gets to this comparator, you'll have a signal strength that is only, 1, 2, 3, or 4, relatively, obviously, compared to this. And then this line, it's on subtract, you'll notice, and I have a little static line coming down here to subtract just the right amount, so that what we have here is these 4 blocks here, 1, 2, 3, 4, are going to represent the bet that the player is currently making. So if this one here is lit up, that's going to be a bet of 4, and if just this one is lit up, it's a bet of 1. So, and I repeated the thing on the, I repeated the same thing on the other side, and what we have now is actually a pretty big kind of turning point. We have 4 lines coming out, you'll see, that represent 4 very basic things. We got this line here, which is this player's current bet. We have this line here, which is kind of mirrored right laterally to it, which represents the maximum bet that they can make. And then conversely for this player, flip it. This is the maximum bet that this player can make, and that is the maximum bet that they are currently making. So now I'm going to do a little bit of joining stuff to figure out if the bet they're making is a fair one. And there we go. Done. All right, we got the same thing on both sides here. Basic kind of little logic gate here. I'm not going to go into all the bits and bobs and ands and ors of what's going on here and explain it, but suffice to say that if any one of those torches turns on, we have a illegal bet being made. In other words, the player on this side is betting something that they do not have items on the pressure plate to support. So it's an illegal bet, which will then power this line up on top here. This is an illegal bet power line, which obviously inverts the torch there. So that torch being on means that the bet they are currently making is a good one. And if that turns off, they can be called by the player on the other side. It's going to be fun. And again, mirrored over here, same exact deal, just kind of flopped. Everything is reversed and mirrored. Yeah, so I think, you know what, because we're not going to get anywhere close to finishing this, we've already got like a ton of redstone here, and you know what, we're not even halfway done with the redstone, so next episode we are going to wrap this up, but a couple things from you guys. Number one, talk about, the redstone detail. Did this feel a little bit too much like a tutorial? You know how it is. Or do you guys like this sort of stuff? Let me know what you think. Also, since we're going to be finishing up next episode, let me know who you think should be the first hermit that I call in here to play this game with, and who you think would be good at this game. Let me know, because it should be fun. It should be fun. All right, guys. Again, I do apologize for the absence of content this last week. Kind of just had a little lapse there. I do apologize, but next episode we're going to finish this game up and give it a play, and I already know the next 2 episodes after that, so ton of Hermitcraft coming your way, guys, and I will see you guys later. Bye!